Hello, hello everyone. Happy New Year. Mid of January, but it's still Happy New Year. I have to say that on my live stream at least once. How's everyone doing? If you can hear me okay and it all looks good, let me know. Is it working? Is it weird? Do we have like sound problem? Okay, good. You can hear me. Because I do this only once a month. Every time I do it, I have some problems with my computer. Either the system is not updated enough, or the camera capture thing that I use to do this would need an update every month. So it's like every time I have to basically, something will be wrong. Like it's not working, and I have to do something, and then it works, but then it may not work. Because I'm not a daily streamer. If I am, that wouldn't be a problem. How's 2026 going? Not too bad. The worst cold in Winnipeg was at the end of December. So around Christmas last year was really, really bad. Actually, right now it's not too bad. So weather-wise, it's not too bad. Then Dramaland is not too bad. I don't think there's yet a great one ongoing, but there are watchable ones ongoing. And then literally today, right, 15th, we should be having something going live today. 小五座. I haven't had time. Although I put the image on my live stream for this month, I haven't had time because it literally just went live like 5 minutes ago or something. And I haven't had time to see it. And I have to look at another screen for a bit. Sorry, just to double check something. Okay, it's not happening, not yet. Okay. Anyway, and I've been honestly busy with the gaming world too, because I was like, yeah, since I've got time during the new year, let's just play games, and I played too much. 5 episodes of Imperial Corner, good. Okay. Oh, okay. So you already have. So they went live middle of the day? It's like noon? Because if it goes live at 8 o'clock, it would be like a little bit too fast for people to go through 8 episodes without fast forwarding. But maybe you just managed to do that. I don't know. I will definitely check that drama out after this stream, probably immediately. Yeah, I had no time because I had to get up and eat and make up and sit down. So didn't have time to watch Coroner yet. It literally just happened. I will definitely do. Yeah. So for the first half month of this year, I literally was more busy with gaming than drama watching. I still watch drama, but yeah. Where wins meet. Yeah, if you still haven't played a game, you should give it a try. Although I would say, although you can play it on an iPad or on your phone, it really wouldn't give you the best experience because they severely compress the visual quality so that it can run on a mobile device pretty nicely. But the visual is very different. If you actually have a computer or PS5, it will look a lot better. So if you can, I still think having a PC or PS5 probably would be the best. And it's time consuming for sure. So if you don't have time, don't have energy, definitely not something that I would recommend you doing. If you do have time though, and you don't have pressure, it's like if you're not under the pressure, you have to level to a certain point, you know, within certain time, or be the whatever best fighter of it. If you're not like so on that, it's actually fun doing it on your own. Also, it's not forced that you have to go online. It has multiple player version, like switch between single player and multiple. So if you don't ever want to go to the open world, you can actually survive without going on there. It's just like you're gonna get less of a rewards in certain places and less ways of playing it, because the game actually can be very different when you go on the multiple people version and your own. So it's not forced that you have to do both. Anyway, it's fun. I mean, it's kind of participation fun, and also like I do have too much fun with like modeling the faces of my characters and dress them up as cheaply as possible. I really didn't spend much money on it, but when I think it's worth, I'll just spend a little bit just to make them look good. So those are the gaming thing. We can talk about that later. We should first talk about Dramaland. Yeah. And again, if people want to join, right, it's just called Avenue Extra, my guild. It still has a couple of positions. You should be able to find it quite easily. It's just my second channel's channel name as the guild name. 2 episodes. If it works in the first 2 episodes, that's good news, because usually that means it's good news, because a lot of Chinese dramas don't work in the first episode and you know it's toast. So if it worked in the first 2 episodes, it's good news. Hou Minghao and Naja Glory. Is it a success? I don't think so. Didn't hear much about it. I mean, in the first week or so, if you want to say popular Chinese drama, what got most attention, probably it is the Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai drama, Shine on Me. I think that one in popular idol drama, like bracket, got most attention by my observation online in terms of how many people are discussing it. Other idol dramas, although it's period drama, the Hou Minghao one, you can still put it in the idol drama category. That one, in comparison, barely anything. I noticed barely anything on social media. But obviously, I probably am also in a version of echo chamber too. It depends on like what things get pushed to me. But I do follow like a news channel about drama and data and stuff, and I haven't seen much mentioning about that period drama, about the guy who marries into the girl's business family in Ming Dynasty selling tea, I think. But I do see a lot of Shine on Me. Shine on Me, I watched the first about 12 episodes, pretty much minute by minute, and then the rest I kind of like very fast clicked through and see what are the main plot happening, because I don't feel I need to watch it minute by minute. I kind of get what it means, what it's trying to do, and how it's gonna, you know, like go. I did kind of got through the drama, but very like from probably 13 to 36. I was like clicking at points instead of like watching every second of it. So that's Shine on Me with Song Weilong and Zhao Jinmai. Then I watched City Maker. I'm like about 11 episodes in. I think it's now like at least 13, 14 up to that point, but I'm at 11 when I stopped because I haven't had time to check the rest. And then the Chen Xingxu, that's the Zhao Liying and Huang Xiaoming one on Tencent, City Maker, 小城大事. And there's an iQIYI one called Love Between Lines, idol drama. You can compare that to Shine on Me. It's pretty much the same kind of, you know, like type of drama. And it's led by Chen Xingxu and Lu Yuxiao. And I've been following that one too. I haven't watched today's episode. Yesterday's episodes I've already watched, so I'm at that point. After this, I have to check out Coroner 2 because it starts and it has like what 4 or 5 episodes on the first day. I have to follow City Maker. I have to follow Love Between Lines. It's like 9 episodes I have to watch today after this live stream. I love my life. So much stuff. The Tan Songyun Hou Minghao one I didn't even watch. Like I very quickly checked out a little bit and I was like, another idol fantasy. I didn't want to continue. Not that I have a huge problem with any of them. I just feel like, also I feel like Tan Songyun is very she's not a bad actress. She's actually a pretty good actress if we just talk about acting. But one of her problem is she's so caged in by her look. You know, it's gonna be harder for her to break through her look than say for Song Zuar to break through her look. In terms of always get casted as a kid-like character, because Tan Song just has that very typical what we call in China Miao look, which is a region of like Sichuan and Guizhou where people have like really cute baby face, like a child, very round, like short, adorable, never age face. But that really stops you from getting a lot of roles as an actress as you age up, right? And she's very much in trouble with her look. Tan Song-yun is just so bothered by really. I think her career is very much restricted by her look. It's just she just doesn't look like that kind of super mature kind of like character that you like, it's hard to put her in that image. She just has that very restrictive natural look. I was paying most of my attention in terms of idol drama to Love Between Lines instead of Shine on Me. One reason is I even Song Weilong is only nice to look at, but his acting is like, I sometimes you argue like whether he's actually doing anything, but whatever. It's kind of like I cannot really ever in his acting I don't get anything. And I still feel the story is not too bad in Shine on Me, but I feel there's always that level of, I mean, Zhao Jingmai is playing again a character who is just this nice, in the more sort of timid kind of positioned, lovely girl, right, in the relationship, which is I've seen too many times. She's doing that, and it gets quite repetitive. I mean, she's not bad. Again, it's just like you've done this before, and I don't know. Like I get like I'm like not again. I watch that. I feel like not again, and it's not a bad drama, but in terms of production standard, it is to me Shine on Me. The Song Weilong Zhao Jingmai drama has one big problem is it looks too poor, too cheaply made. Its color, its look in terms of styling even, and then the lighting and the grading is so bad. The lighting of Shine on Me is so bad. It is worse than say the butterfly one, the sniper butterfly that happened before, and definitely worse than like Turquoise Land, definitely worse than Love Between Lines. It's being shot and lit like a sitcom, like one of those soap dramas that gets made one episode every day, and it's super flat, super harsh. There's no design in lighting at all. It's just make sure the scene is lit. Like that's the only thing they did for the drama, Shine on Me. It looks like these two people can be lit very prettily, but they don't like look good with the lighting. The lighting doesn't help at all. It's only because they are not ugly people that they don't look ugly in the lighting. Otherwise, I don't know. The production standard of Love Between Lines is way too low for even the average kind of idol drama that should come out in 2025 in Chinese drama, in my opinion. Like think about last year, the Zhang Linghe and Xu Ruohan drama. I can't remember the English title. It's like Love You, basically. That's the Chinese title, right? And it's the Chinese medicine doctor and the hotel manager. That one. Like, think about how pretty that drama actually made the two leads look like, regardless of the story, just how they shot it. The lighting, the costume design, the choices of lenses, and it's like heightened. It very much reminds you of those super high romance South Korean dramas, right? I mean, you can do that. It's not so hard. The best thing is, like, that drama makes people look pretty. In terms of its color, its costume, its lighting. Think about that one and compare to Shine on Me. Right, just put those two, if you've watched them, put them in your brain, you compare, and you see the huge difference in terms of production standard and aesthetics. I just feel Shine on Me looks so rough. It's like it's like a student work who barely actually went through the course of lighting in the first like semester when they go into cinema, like studying cinematography. Honestly, I believe, right, the 129 people watching this live stream, at least 80% of you, if I give you a camera and ask you to go and shoot, and you can use whatever lighting, you can lit the scene better than that drama has lit the leads. This is how bad Shine On Me's lighting is. That one thing really just cuts down my impression score of this drama so much that I can't take it quite seriously. I almost had to watch it as a radio play because the image doesn't give me any pleasure, and sometimes it just makes me feel, oh god, who shot this? Like I constantly get this like, this is so bad looking. People who are responsible for this shot should get shot. Okay, like that's what I feel. And so I had to watch the drama as a radio play because often the visual is offensively badly lit. These things really get to me. So although I kind of watch the drama, I don't think I can make an individual video talking about it. I don't find there's anything really that's worth talking about, apart from it's not too bad. If you like the two leads, you probably can deal with it. If you don't mind the looks and the bad lighting, you probably can deal with it. But if you really don't like looking at things that are lit so badly that you want to like slap across of the cinematographer in terms of like accusing them like you're wasting my time. If you don't mind that, you can watch, but it's really badly made. What is a Huasen? Huasen drama? What is that? Wuxia drama. It's hard to make. Oh, that's why. You don't have choreographers. You don't have actors who can do it like even properly, just like the wire work. You know, it's hard. And it's like PE. It's if you're not trained, you just cannot ask someone to suddenly run a lot faster than they usually run. It takes months and years for someone to improve on that end of things. You know, it's like if you don't know how to swim, you're not gonna learn it in 1 minute type of situation. So in these days, you don't have professional actors. There are very few number of actors in China who can actually do it. And everybody knows who they are, and there are only that many. So I watched a little bit and didn't continue. 即刻上场. Oh, 长华森. I don't know which drama. I have no idea. I'm not particularly sort of like interested in him or paying attention to him. So I probably don't look like I don't know. I have a friend who's like interested, so they probably know more about this, what's going on with this guy, than I do. So for Shine On Me, I can watch it. I don't think it's great. It's acceptable to some extent, but I feel like Zhao Jingmai needs somebody to like sort out her script choices. the recent couple of idol dramas she's in, or even pair dramas, I'm like. Also, she has bad luck with male second character. Actor and character too. Think about Grand Princess, and the one she's led with Wu Lei, and then the current, like the just finished one with Song Weilong. They all have male second. On paper, who the F are you? And then the actors usually are not very good, or they just look awkward. And she's got like really bad luck with male second character and actor in her dramas in the last year or two. Somehow, I don't know why, but all those male second are like, oh, who the hell do you think you are? You know, particularly I Shine On Me, like the male second, I'm like, who the hell do you think you are? Come on. Disappear. Go away. Don't stay in frame. You're so annoying. Somehow she just always ends up with that. I don't know why. So that one is pretty much that. If anybody is watching City Maker, it's a very typical 正剧. The kind of era drama. It's talking about 80s, right? And then one of those dramas, because Zhao Liying is doing more realism heavy stuff these days. I mean, she's also doing an okay job. There's no huge problem with it. It's just if that type of story is not your cup of tea, you probably wouldn't find it interesting because she's playing basically a local county's leader. She's like the head of the county, but very young. And it's a county that needs to be built from ground up. It's like a tiny village that needs to be built into a city. And she's like the first generation of people who got appointed into that to build it in the 80s. So she's doing the kind of like official kind of character of that very typical type of drama with Huang Xiaoming. And it's just like one of those normal dramas of that category of things. Okay to watch, but if you are looking for like idol drama stuff, it's definitely not that type of stuff. Yeah, it's like the type of drama that my parents would want to watch. Very typically the 80s city maker, like the title says. Those kind of proper drama that goes on satellite television. It's watchable, but again, if it's not your particular type of things that you're interested in, it's not like that high entertainment value. And then if you know quite a bit about the time and background of like what happens in the 80s, 90s China, then you kind of get a better understanding of what's going on. Otherwise it's just yeah, I mean, it's not gonna look very pretty. Basically everybody is not dressed up in that type of drama. It's one of those like small county getting built, and it's all those like all the during that shift when nothing is certain, when policies are very far behind the actual development, right? Lawmakers' policies are very slow, and then yet the need to develop is very urgent. All the conflict that happens between government, within government, their members, and then between the people who runs the government and the the people, right? And then it's that type of drama. So it would very specifically target the demographics of people. If you watch that type of drama, you'll like. Otherwise, you're just like, boring, or it's like nobody is looking pretty, which is true. In the 80s China, there was no shampoo, just to put it directly, right? You wash your hair with soap back then, so nobody gets dressed up in any sense. So that's the City Maker with Zhao Li and Huang Xiaoming. Then the Love Between Lines, Lu Yuxiao and Chen Xingxu. I've been following that drama since day one. It is prettier shot than, let's say, Shine On Me or average, I'd say, idol drama. It's not as stylistically heavy and cinematically shot as, say, Love on Turquoise Land. It will be a step down from that, but more romanticized and kind of contemporary drama lens. You can say it's more like the type of The Best Thing last year. That kind of look and things, right? Loving Between Lines is more in that kind of style. Maybe less romanticized and pretty than The Best Thing, because Best Thing really cranks that up to maximum with contemporary romantic dramas look. This one is slightly tuned down, but then more than other dramas, and not as cinematically high contrast and that type of thing as Love on Turquoise Land. I'll put it that way. So that's Love Between Lines. Gaxi. It's okay. It's another watchable, not bad idol dramas. Nobody is weird, and no weird hard sell of any kind of like relationship value that just triggers people's like sensitive antenna these days. None of that. But then if you're saying, is it a greatly written, super well written high romance, I wouldn't put it that way either. It's kind of like, okay, you can watch it. Not gonna like offend you in any sense, but is it a greatest romantic drama that I would highly recommend to anyone? Probably not either. Pleasure, but meh, okay. The Miracles, yeah, I know that showed up. I should watch it. I'm just too busy between dramas and games. Because it's a short drama of a lot of stars that's just about Shenzhen development. Very choppy, very short. I should just binge it, I think. I should just binge it. Men's Inhumanity. Men's Inhumanity to men. If you are highly sensitive to very graphic and very cruel things, you should think twice about getting into that drama. It's extremely well done, but because of that, if you get traumatized, you should not try. It can traumatize you quite a bit. Well, get good dramas. You should think about this, okay? There's barely any good drama script in China these days. Honestly, my opinion is every year, if you can get 3 good scripts that I consider to be good scripts that's done in China, it's already a high number. Often it's just one. One. Whole year, you get one. That's actually considered to be really good script. Everything considered, okay? You're like high standard. What we're thinking about this one goes to Oscar level competing. Then you get one probably. If you can get 3 good ones, it's a great year. Now, you have to find a role that he can play within those 3 scripts, which usually it doesn't mean that he can. You may not find suitable roles for him, and then it gets offered to him, then he accepts it. For any specific actors, think about that. How tiny a target it is for them to aim and actually hit. That's why there are like a lot of actors who are not bad at all, and they just never get good works because not that much going on. Everyone grabs on, try to get that role in a great script when it comes around, and it's going to be fierce competition, and eventually who gets it is partially this reason, that reason, but a lot of that is also down to luck. And even down to like the offer comes in and you happen to already sign something of your time, of that slot, they clash, and you cannot run away from your previous contract, so it's not yours to take. And luck, literally luck, plays a huge part. Luck plays probably 80, I'd say, percent of your acting career in terms of whether it makes or breaks you. 80 to 90%. The rest is like, you are the best actor in the world, cool. Does not mean you're gonna get the thing that actually is gonna make you famous. I watched most of it. And I was like, as it goes on, I started to like, yeah, whatever happens, oh, who cares? It's still too short drama. It's, again, not a bad drama, but I think I had probably too high anticipation and hope for it, so it didn't kind of achieve my within my personal hope where it could go, so I was a bit disappointed. The Zhang Ruoyun one I was watching actually, Zhang Ruoyun Ma Sichun, up to early January. Like I watched till the girl got injured. They fell out of the old house. So his girlfriend was injured. I think I watched up to the point where she woke up. That's like the last thing I remember. I didn't watch anything after that. I don't know what happened after that part. The 人之初, what's the English title of it? 人之初 Tencent, 张若昀、马思纯、王景春, something, like I can't remember. It's like the guy tries to find out what happened to his mother. I watched to that point and then I didn't continue. I forgot about its existence. That's how unhooking it is to me. Zhang Ruoyun did great acting. Ma Sichun not bad at either. Like nobody actually was bad in that drama, but the story is, it got to the point where I'm like, why should I care? I think it never really fully built up something that makes me care about the characters, so that I really want to know what happened to them, or like whether they're gonna find out or whether they're gonna get what they want, right? I never really managed to build up that with the character, the lead. Zhang Ruoyun acting is fine, but in terms of, I think the script is lacking in sense of, as an audience, I have nothing. I don't know anything about your character. I go in the drama blind. How do you build up quickly something that makes me want to care about what happens to this guy? Therefore, every step of the way when he does the things, I want to go with him and I really want to find out and I care, right? Once you make audiences care, it's easy. The rest, they will just follow. But the hardest thing is to get people care. I feel the Zhang Ruoyun Ma Sichun drama was, I don't care. It's like, people are not like doing bad acting, but in terms of script writing, I never got sold like why I should care. So at some point I'm like, there's like so much pain, and kind of like they try to create this male character who is so damaged and broken, but at the like before that even happened, like why should I care? Because there's like the world is filled with broken people. You can't care all of them. You don't have that capacity to do it. For storytelling, it is very personal space between the storyteller and the watcher. It's like, how do you set up that to make me care? Therefore, I want to go on the journey. Otherwise, it's just pure torture exhibition. It's like exhibiting all types of torture this character goes through. But then I'm standing on the outside. I'm like, do other things to make me happy. Because apparently, like I don't get any honestly, selfishly speaking, I can't get any experience out of it. Even sometimes when you look at people who suffer, you want to suffer with them because you care, and that also makes the kind of very painful storytelling really, really powerful, like men's inhumanity to men. It's well down to the point you care about what happens to this character, therefore it's more tragic, right? Not to mention it's based on real history. But like the pure fictional character, when they're so pain heavy, why should I care, right? That's the most important thing I think the scriptwriter needs to get done. I don't think Zhang Ruoyun, Master Drama, did it well, so that at some point of the story, I kind of got like, you people go and deal with your own pains, okay? It's like, leave me alone because I don't wanna get myself involved in it, and to some point, I feel it's too much of an exhibition. And they feel like as long as I make the character so sad and tragic and so worth sympathizing with, empathizing with, therefore I have the warranty, I have the right to bait it so much with the actors, with the audiences. They make the actor do all those performances. I feel like it's too much exhibition. I don't quite buy into it. So I got to the point where Zhang Ruoying's character and her girlfriend fell out of the house. Pretty much. After that, I stopped watching. I don't know what happened after. May not go back. Also, the fact that Tang Yan playing his mother like years ago, that part is just not selling it to me either. Tang Yan is pretty, but she right now at her age, right, she can't pretend she's early 20s girl. Like particularly not with the idol drama, with the fantasy drama, super smoothed out lens. You look at her face in high definition, you know she's not in her 20s, and she's pretending she's this like entertainment girl of the 90s, right? Pretty, very good singer, very pretty, and she's like the sort of like top of the club. I'm like, if it's really 20 years ago Tang Yan, I will buy it, okay? Because she is pretty. And if it's like 24-year-old her, okay. It's like 40 or so year old Tang Yan now. And no matter what you do, you know, like it just doesn't look right. And I'm like, it's hard sell. It's so hard selling it. And I can only buy into it that much. That's Light of the Dawn. And that's the crime drama on Tencent, with Ma Sichun, Zhang Ruoyun, Wang Jingchun. Tang Yan and Yang Le played the younger, like 20 years ago. Basically Zhang Ruoyun's daddy and mom, I think, biologically speaking. That's that one. Let's get back to Love Between Lines. Somebody's asking Glory. I already said I haven't really watched it at the beginning of this stream. Love Between Lines, Gaxi, Chen Xinxu and Lu Yuxiao. Visually, pretty nice. Not a huge problem anywhere I can see. Story-wise, okay. Not a huge problem I can see anywhere. I can slowly enjoying it, have fun with it, but I wouldn't have the highest sort of like urgency to recommend the drama to anyone, because I'd say watching this, not watching this is not gonna make a difference in terms of your, oh, I missed a great romantic drama, what a pity. That's not gonna be one of the things that this drama can sell on. It also has Dai Xu in it, which is I didn't know to start with, and I'm really happy to see him. Again, he's a really good actor. He's not like the handsome, like the best looking actor out there. He even has a face that some people might think not good looking. But Dai Xu is a very interesting actor, I'd say. He really is versatile. He is one of those actors in his age group that I can imagine probably a widest range of characters he can play and not feeling weird or out of place for him to be there. Probably he's got like one of the widest range among the same age actors I can think of in China. Gaxi is basically, the male lead is the still a little bit too typical idol drama character who's got a really sad past, and he's always trying to right whatever wrongs that's put on his father that he believes is innocent anyway. He's like in architect family, so he's an architect and he runs this studio, architect work studio, as the head. And then the girl wants to be an architect, but then didn't get through like to work as an architect because of family background, a lot of troubles, things like, again, she gave up her dream kind of, and then picked it up again. So she eventually ended up working in his firm, but before that they met in this 剧本杀, which is the one of those like going to dress up and play along the script kind of game that's really popular. Which there is one actually in Shanghai, which is huge and it's super expensive. I've done once and I'm like, I still don't get why people invest hundreds of millions to build a set just for this, but it exists. It's just in the game, in the drama, it's more like there's like VR, so that you actually get simulated situations where it makes the game look more fantastical. But whatever, they ended up meeting in the game. He is one of the NPC, and she is just a player. And he's actually the designer of the set as an architect and a good friend of the actual owner, so they kind of are joint owner of that game. But also he owns this architect firm, so like loaded. There's too many loaded people in idol drama land, and that's like a romantic story background for these two. So if you like these two people, like Lu Yuxiao and Chen Xinxu, and even like Dai Xu, you can go and watch the drama. They do pretty good performances and they all look very good. Probably better than what they look like in a lot of other dramas. It's just like it's not the greatest thing out there. You know, I don't have like anything I have to say, oh wow, this script is so well written, so different, so interesting. It's story-wise, it's like so worth watching. Not on that level. It's just like not bad, but it is just what it is. And the one more thing. Really? He's in Unclouded Soul? You know, Dai Xu is just really good an actor. He will never be the super good looking leading man, because he's not that material. He doesn't have that face. But he will be such a good and easy to use main supporting role that you can jam in any part of the story if the director wants, and he's gonna make it happen. Like one of those super reliable people. He's gonna never run out of work. That's my opinion about the actor Dai Xu, because there will always be supporting roles in a million dramas that needs good acting on point and not making a mess and fuss about their being the best star. So therefore, actors like Dai Xu may never get the most halo and attention as the leading man, but they probably get more offer and never run out of jobs, and they can act till they're 80-year-old. And also, they're not going to get into that much trouble because they're not the center of the focus. Therefore, dramas and scandals don't follow them. I feel like that's actually golden. If you want to have a longevity career as an actor, not having too much trouble and still have really good life, you kind of avoid all the pitfalls of standing on the top tier. And you also don't suffer from like people who are at the bottom of the industry who can't even feed themselves. You're in the perfect zone of never getting hit by the strongest wave of hate or problem, but always get enough money and work. You know? So Dai Xu is actually Goldilocks zone actor, in my opinion, of survival in the industry for long term. Now, for love between lines, one of the reasons I cannot take it too seriously, I would just have fun with it, is unfortunately it is looking at the lives of architecture firms, particularly the firms that go into like competitions, trying to win stuff and design stuff and all those kind of high profile, designer heavy kind of firm. Hits where I come from. Like, I'm not exactly an architect, right? I don't have license, but I did go through architecture school. My dad is an architect, although he works in city planning. I grew up surrounded by architects. I know what they work, like what it looks like when they work. I know architecture firms, landscape architecture firms. I've met some of the best landscape architects in the world and worked under them for a bit. Not actually for proper work, but for other things. Anybody, if you know the lady, most famous like American landscape architect lady, who used to be married to the guy who designed the 9/11 memorial. So you should know, if you are in the world of architecture, you'll know who I'm saying. If you don't know, then you don't. It's like, if you're not in the world of architecture, you don't know her. If you are in, there's no way you don't know her, right? So that lady is one of the most famous landscape architects in the world. She designed the Bagel Garden, which is like really well known. But anyway. I mean, I've worked with her too. So I kind of like know the top tier best architect in the world, like what the world is like with them. It's just like nothing like that in the drama. So the drama's depiction is very romanticized, and it's definitely done by people who are not architects. And you look at that, you start laughing. No, her name is Martha. MS, Lady MS. Anyway, one of the best. Landscape architecture, or most famous, you can put it that way. She's the most famous lady. The most famous world lady landscape architect is her. Landscape architecture, not just architecture, okay? Anyway, because I know architects, and I've got friends who have their own firm, who work, like I've gone to their firms, I know what it's like. There are people who work in China, there are people who are in the States. I know the world of like architecture school and then architects, right? What it's like really. And it's just like, I look at the drama and I laugh. I'm like, I've never seen an architect, right? Who actually does design himself, who do all the drawings himself, who can look like that. There's no time for you to put your hair up like that unless you're going to a huge conference today. Okay, every day speaking, nobody has good skin because they're facing the computer screen 24/7. Their faces they're balding. They look like shit. Their face is like eaten by computer. So it has that kind of green shine to it. Instead of like looking perfect skinned. I'm looking at how rosy cheeked these people are in the drama. I'm like, no. You have no idea. Like if you're working on architect drawings, renderings, layouts, you're doing Rhino, you're doing whatever like 3D software or Vectorworks or CAD, you're not gonna look so healthy. You're gonna look so bad because you're like living and breathing with your computer 24/7. You have like 10 coffees a day. You don't get up and exercise. Okay, you look like shit. Basically, you're never gonna look that good. I look at Chen Xingxu and Lu Yixiao, and they even have time to like curl their hair into perfection every day to go to work. I'm like, oh, no. That's not what architecture people look like in real life at all. I I laugh so much looking at like Louis Xiao and Chen Xinxun, but you two look too good. You two look like you spend 2 hours every day to groom yourself to look like that. Okay, which will never happen to a real architect. They couldn't even find 2 minutes, right, to get the hair like a little bit more in shape than what it is. And you know, because I've seen guys who are really good at like architecture school, who later actually do really good architecture like jobs and work, and they're all computer nerds. Because these days when you do architecture, you also have to be really good with 3D software, rendering, all those things. So I've seen guys who are the really good at tech stuff. Architect guys are like what, 3 computers. They're sitting and they're like just doing this, and they're fixing other people's computers because there's something wrong with it and it's not running, and they need get the render out like in 20 minutes. You see them like inventing things. Like I've literally seen person who study the software so much that they figure out certain bugs and certain tricks that nobody knows about that software. And they know press this key and that key and that key and do this, you can make this happen. And we're like, oh my God, that saves me so much time. And he's like, you would never find this instruction on the official anywhere menu of this software because it's not there. Like you actually have to use it so much that you literally find it. Like you have to press this key and that key and that key and do this, and that happens to that specific software that you will never find anywhere having that instruction. It's like secret. So, I mean, top tier architects who actually do the work themselves, not hiring a team and doing it for them, right? These people are total nerds. They're computer nerds maximum. That's like when you see them do like 3D rendering, it's like, okay, whatever. So you think about like how their life looks like in reality, which is they're never gonna look that good, right? Like an idol drama. And so like all the time they're just like having time to do romantic whatever relationship in their life. It's never gonna happen. I have to architect friend. I haven't actually been in contact for years now, but I literally I played a huge role in getting them together and eventually get married. They're both in, like, one is an architect, the other is a landscape architect. And even when they were in architecture school, it got to the point where people are so busy doing the schoolwork, there's no time for them to literally have a relationship, like get time to work it out. And they have problem. And funny, they each individually walked up to me and told me they have problems with they want me to be the middle woman to like kind of sort out their relationship, like help them. And I ended up having an individual long conversation separately with each of them. And eventually they ended up together. It's like they barely have time and energy to actually do relationships themselves. So I also in architecture school, but I am not in a relationship. So I have more time, I guess, than them. They literally asked me to put them together. Like that's how weird it is, but they're still married till today. So I think overall I did a good job. But I'm just putting that in perspective for people who are not in the world of architecture and architecture. Like, it's insane. That profession, if you want to climb to the top, right, is so demanding of you that like anything in romantic dramas that look like barely like people don't have work is a joke. Is a joke. And so there's only that much I can take seriously about love between lines. For example, like Chen Xinxu's character, right? He's the lead of that studio. He's the lead architect. He actually does all the drawings himself, but he also owns the 剧本杀 company where he goes and play a character. And every time the show goes on, it's 4 hours. 4 hours. He has to be an NPC in the game for 4 hours, and he does it multiple rounds a week while he runs an architecture firm. That's Guinness World Record. Okay, somebody should give this person a Guinness World Record for having 48 hours a day. to start with, not anything else. I look at the fact that he's a lead of one of the like coolest architecture firm, like the new firm, right, that's going on in the city right now. He's super popular, super like top architecture star, and at the same time he's like having a 剧本杀 business on the side as the leading actor in it. And he looks like Chen Xingxu, groomed version. 梦里啥都有 okay? So you know, no matter how good the drama as a romantic drama, if it is that good, which it is not, I will never really take it too seriously, because I look at all the architecture stuff and laugh. I laugh so much. Yeah. Anyway, that's my take on Love Between Lines. Watchable, but don't take any part of the architecture seriously. It's so far from reality. Architect's dream is engineer nightmare. True. Like think about like Zaha, for example, her like design, all those like curved lines, that's super smooth and beautiful. It's like very futuristic. When you actually put it into practice, you have to basically print out the facade of that building in 3D piece by piece, because they all have this very tiny bend and curvature that is irregular. It's not like a square or round thing. It's like flowing, right? So every piece needs to be custom designed and printed out of something. It will be super expensive to make and to put together in terms of like actually fitting perfectly, and then transportation, and think about future repairing, because things will fall, things will get old, the color will change, you need to switch a piece out, and then what do? You have like one piece that's like, you have to customize it. And what if the factory that initially produced this went bankrupt and closed? Even when you have the data, can you make sure that it gets printed out and it can actually fit into what exists, right? These things are like absolute headache for actually realization of those projects. So often when the design comes out, it gets compromised to the point where it can be carried out in real life, and usually it's already the diminished many level version. True, no one will watch it if it's realistic. Yeah, but on the other hand, I just feel, I don't know, it makes it feel very silly, because all the like he's so cool, like it's such a pretentious dream, because if you can convince people enough that that dream is valid, it's fine. But because these days everybody has access to everything, everyone knows what real life looks like. So the more you look, the people like in drama look cool, the sillier it becomes. I even sometimes feel embarrassed for the actors, because they probably know what real life looks like too, to an extent, but they have to pretend. In the drama land, it's the other way. But it makes like 30-year-old people playing roles looking like they're 13. Because it's still playing house, right? It's kind of silly. It's just too silly to... I get embarrassed literally watching, like I feel that strong mirroring neuron thing. It's like I feel embarrassed for them, for them to play like kid. Zhao Jingmai's problem is also her look is too cute. Too childlike. She has a very proportional speaking face that looks like a kid. Very, because of the round shaped face and just the proportion between eyes and nose and stuff, she looks like little. And also she has like a tiny frame. Look at how skinny and tiny she is in real life. She's like barely there. She's like almost disappearing under clothes. So it's very hard just by the look of her to convince you that she's more matured. And then as time goes on, as she ages, right, she would have to play roles who are less cute and kid-like, and that would be a problem for her. She's also one of those actresses who has natural sort of like just the look looks way too kid-like. Like a couple of other actresses in China, like they're good actresses, but they're not like. Just when they come out, you think it's a mature person. It's just the way their face is, their body is. It can't do anything about it. Some people just look way too young for their own good in long term. Feng Yuchao didn't, like I watched to a point and I gave up. I think it's not bad, but I mean, because when it was airing, Men's Inhumanity to Men showed up. And 打不过呀，打不过, right? It's like two heading, like, and this fist is so much bigger than the other one, and also like in terms of like just stomaching very heavy historical stuff, I think I can do only that much within a period of time. When I gave that quota, basically, I gave that quota to Men's Inhumanity. I don't have energy to deal with other things. That drama takes all of your energy. You don't have spare for other things because it's just so, it's like it's very hard to deal with drama, so you don't have time. I can't even watch very happy and light stuff while I was watching that drama because my brain cannot switch the mode so easily, right? the resonating kind of like sound of the drama is too loud. It raises other things. Fireworks of My Heart. Isn't that like a long time ago? So, Love Between Lines, that's the one. Anything else? I mean, Corners like Imperial Corner. I'll check it out after this live stream immediately. On 19th, we will have Typing In, which I highly look forward to. Really, because that's the only 五代十国 we've got. I think since I started the channel, even like in the last 20 years. Even longer. Because I try to remember what is the last time 5 dynasties, 10 kingdoms got a major drama, like in 40, 50 episodes amount. Can't think of one. In my memory, totally non-existent. Because 3 kingdoms gets talked about in long dramas. Tang Dynasty, Han Dynasty gets talked about in long drama. Qing even. Qing Dynasty too. Ming also you can think about. Couple of things. 五代十国. 0. Because it's a mess. Nobody wants to deal with it because it's such a big mess. Therefore, coming up next Monday, Typing In is gonna be, fingers crossed, great drama. Like, please give me a good, proper historical period drama. We haven't had that in Chinese drama in forever, ever. Punishment, I watched it a little bit and gave up. Huang Jinyu, I think the first episode literally put me off in ways that I didn't expect, which is Wang Ziqi played a cameo, right? His character died right at the beginning. And he is a friend of Huang Jingyu's character, so Huang Jingyu comes, like when he died, basically he showed up at the scene. And that shot of Huang Jingyu's character looking at the body of his friend, that shot literally kind of put me off the drama because there was no expression from the actor. It like, if you don't know the shot before he looked at the body, is the shot of the friend's body. If it's not there, and you just look at his reaction shot and you ask anyone, what is he looking at? Nobody would say the body of a good friend of his. His acting was so not there, and I was shocked about the indifference. He's like, it's like an average person in American looking at a homeless dead body. Like that's what it looks like. Nobody cares, right? He's got that indifferent face. In Punishment, I remember the first episode of Punishment. I was like, what am I looking at? Seriously? Even if this person might not be the best friend of yours, he's a colleague of yours. You know this person is a policeman, right? This guy just died. Like, you're looking at his dead body, and you're like nothing happens on his face. I'm like, director, like, why don't you call another shot? It's like, cut. Let's do another take. This one is not working. I don't know, like. And it would be worse to think if they've taken multiple takes of this scene, and none of that is better than this shot. So they pick this shot, which means all the other shots are even worse. And I'm like, okay, so that's Punishment. The beginning first episode got me so confused because his acting was like indifferent. And I'm like, and also like, yeah, the first shot, because in the first shot, Wang Ziqi and Huang Jingyu's characters, they are the couple, like let's say the main couple. And there was a great chemistry. I really shipped them. It worked. Even Zhang Yu to an extent, because Zhang Yu is the anti-hero, right? But the three of them, right? Like, you can feel that comparing. And it kind of is interesting, and I enjoyed Wang Ziqi and Huang Jingyu quite a lot. Honestly speaking, I'll tell you that. And then in this drama, I'm like, what the heck? What the heck? What's going on with you? He's so not there. He's like, take the paycheck and walk out. It doesn't even put any effort. I'm like, goodbye. I watched, and then I watched after a few episodes after that, and I don't know why I'm watching it. I don't get it, and I quit. I hope today, later, Imperial Coroner 2 is not gonna make me feel that. I hope the 4-people team in the second season is gonna be as good as the first one. Oh, I need, God knows I need one. I need workaholic, ancient time, justice system people to pick me up. So, high hope for later today, and then high hope for Monday coming up. Fingers crossed it's gonna work. So excited. And if it does work, yeah, it's Where Winds Meet, exact same period. Oh, thank you. Thank you. That feels very good to hear. Don't worry till episode 5. Okay. So, we may have a good one coming for this month. They started working in episode 2. I thought they're gonna go straight into working in episode 1 because they're all workaholics. They don't care about relationships, right? They just want to grab the murderer. Remember, they were working on their wedding at the end of last season. Remember, at the end of the first Imperial Coroner, they were literally using their wedding as a bait so that they can work at the wedding too. That's how intense these people are. Why don't they start from like working from the first shot of second season? That should be what actually happens with this team, because they don't care about life at all. They're just workaholics, all of them. So yeah, great. I can't wait for Monday. I really cannot. Ah, oh, typing in. And because of the Where Winds Meet game is so popular right now, it just happens to be on the same time. It would be really interesting if there's recurring characters that you can talk about. Because Zhu Yawen in the coming up period drama, he's basically playing the big Zhao, Brother Zhao in the game. Like, he looks very different from Brother Zhao, but I think acting is more important than looking like. So that's, at least you know, is gonna be sure show up. I'm not sure if Zhao Guangyi is also. So basically, Zhu Yawen's character's younger brother, if he is also gonna be played by someone and showing up in the drama, if that is so, then it is that guy, the purple clothed guy who's quite handsome and looks like Ao Ruipeng in the game. The game face looks very much like Ao Ruipeng. It's the same person. And I don't know anyone else is gonna like, it depends on like what shows up eventually, because the game is unfinished. There are still people showing up in the game, and the drama is gonna come out, so it's gonna be very clear who is gonna show up in the drama eventually. Since it's talking about Wu Yue, it would be pretty much, I think, will probably, because it says it has Guo Wei, I think that's Yu Haoming's character. So you would see basically the power before Song Dynasty's founding. Like basically, the Zhao family, they were like a manager under another family who was the ruler of the time, but the ruler died very accidentally, and he's got very young son, very young on the throne, who basically can't do anything. Therefore, the high manager took over and become the founder of Song. And the story goes that it's Huang Pao Jiashen. It's literally, the history records as the Song's first emperor. He wasn't going to do it himself, but everybody under him forced him to take over and forced him to become the next emperor. So you can like take it with a lot of salt, right? In terms of like how, because history is written by them later. So how much of that is like he really doesn't want to take it, and then all the other people say, oh, no, we want you to go up there and then take over. But eventually the power ends up in Zhao family's hand. That was the founding, the beginning of the Song, the North Song. So Zhu Yawen is playing that character. Bai Yu is playing the leader of the smaller kingdom, Wu Yue, which is in current Hangzhou region, Alibaba's home, where he actually wasn't a prospective prince to inherit the crown. He's got brothers before him, who in every way looks like more likely to take the position, and more than one. So he's like the carefree young guy in the family who just needs to be a prince forever. Yet fate has it that suddenly something happens and it just fell on him. And he wasn't ready, but he has to take on. And he happened to run this small kingdom that is financially doing extremely well among all the other kingdoms, but he's tiny. And the history basically of his story is that he eventually decided to give up his throne and basically give up his ruling, kind of like everything, to the Song, so that it becomes a part of Song as the bigger middle kingdom. And for the Wu Yue giving up that power, it's like the only kind of really rare case that in Chinese history that it happens in a very peaceful way that didn't cause any conflict. People didn't really go into battles, and like commoners and people didn't get sacrificed to die in that. And in return, his descendants do get treated really well by the Song's imperial family for generations. Obviously, you give up the power and you're still kind of under surveillance, but overall, it's like one of the very rare cases in Chinese history where a kingdom gave up itself to a bigger one so that it can create a bigger kingdom, and no really significant bloodshed happened, and no destruction of the commoners happened on any level, which is a rare thing. Pretty much the only kind of like that happened to that smooth extent in Chinese history. I think that's one of the reasons why this drama gets made these days. And then, funny enough, the Qian family, because of the ruler of Wu Yue at the time, the Qian family did this kind of, in a way, like as the ruler of their own kingdom, like a sacrifice, basically give up their own power completely. so that the people of the kingdom never get slaughtered for that reason. You can say it's a karma because therefore the Qian family actually got very good karma for generations after, even till today. Their descendants are still very, very prosperous in everything they do. In science, like there are a couple of very famous writers and scientists in China in contemporary time who are nationally known, great names. They're all from that family. They're all descendants from Qian. So in a way, you can say their ancestors did a great thing thousands of years ago. Therefore, even, like till today, their descendants are still being sheltered by that great deeds their ancestors have done. So that's one very famous family in China that's still very famous till today. It happened like 1,000 years ago. So that's gonna be made into the drama coming up on Monday. It'll be very interesting to see how they do it. 他为什么依然单身 and very fun. It's a very fun drama. But once you watched it, you forget about its existence type of... Like, it's like comedy. It's like a lot of comedy, very clever exchange of fast-firing lines between characters. And it's done. It's very enjoyable. But then you kind of don't remember what happens after. Like, I watched it, I was like having fun, and then forget. 他为什么依然单身? Why is he still single, right? It's the 霍建华猪猪 drama that happened at the end of last year. It's not this year, it's like December last year, I think. I watched parts of it, it's really fun. Very well written, very witty, quick firing lines. Okay, so Imperial Coroner is good. And that's good to know. I cannot wait for next week. Just because I'm playing Where Winds Meet. Yes. Why is he still single? Yeah, Huo Jianhua is a cool guy. I think compared to a lot of idols who got older, like who were idols in early 2000s in dramaland in Asia, compared to a lot of actors who have aged to now in their 40s, 50s, he's one of those cooler guys. He's aged well in terms of he's not pretentious. He never has been. He doesn't buy into the whole sort of idol traffic thing, even when he was like super popular at the early stage of his career. He doesn't subscribe to that, and he definitely doesn't subscribe to all the fandom culture and anything. He's always been extremely stern and actually almost angry towards his fans who spend too much time, energy, money on him. He would literally scold them in their face. He's like, "You're a student, why don't you go back to school? Why are you here?" You know? That's Huo Jianhua, Wallace. He's such an interesting guy and he's consistent. He's not like here and there and always, he's always like that from day one. If you look at all his old like interviews and everything people tell you anecdotally about what he's like in real life, he's like no joke. And even though he looks like an idol, he acts so much like a normal person and no bullshit, no stupidity kind of person. So at this age now, when he's definitely old, not young anymore, and he doesn't do stupid fillers to make him look like an auntie. If he's got like wrinkles and whatever, he just let them happen and he doesn't hide it, and he's like, yeah, whatever. Maybe a cool guy compared to a lot of pretentious pricks in this industry. He's just so much more, you know, like a real person. I highly appreciate the fact that he actually, even though he's not that much older than me, sometimes his actions and his behaviors reminds me of the older generation of men, like my daddy or my kind of uncle generation of men, how they would approach and talk about things and act. It's like very old-fashioned. So in a way, people call him 老干部, which is very, 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 very true. He has that like as if he's worked in the system. In Chinese kind of government system, almost like that kind of very realistic and no joke approach of everything. he's just like so not idol, right? He looks like an idol, but he's not buying into any of the shit of the idol thing. And he's actually really straightforward and brutal about fans being stupid. And I think there were like fans who go into mountains because they were shooting stuff in like wild to follow him, and he will literally scold them so severely. It's like, what are you doing? You're wasting your parents' money, and you're risking coming here. What if any accident happens to you? Like, why are you here? You're stupid. Go back home. He's like that. I'm like, yeah. You wish every star is like that, right? Being a real person. He's cool. So like I always have a filter on his dramas, even the one Forever Young that I only watched a couple of episodes with him, Tian Yu, Liu Duanduan, and Qiao Zhenyu. They're a group of people from Beijing Hutong. I didn't finish the drama. I watched a couple of episodes in the beginning. I think he's doing really well. Again, he's like one of those like no joke, be real kind of person, even in his acting. And it seems to be an okay drama. I just didn't continue because I have too many other things to do. But he's just such a cool guy. Yeah, he often acts like your uncle, in your life, who's no joke. It's like, have you finished your homework? What have you done in this semester's final grade? What is your note? Like, did you get a job? It's like, what the heck are you doing here? Go back and work. He's very much like that. Just adorable. Yeah, and he doesn't do any cosmetic stuff. Like all the when people get aged up, right? All the guys, they also start to do fillers and make them look absolutely ridiculous. Thankfully, Huo Jianhua doesn't do that to himself. So compared to a lot of unbearable things in Chinese ramen, I think he's a nicely aged guy who, even if I don't watch all his dramas and don't always think they're the greatest thing, I think as a person he's so much cooler than most of the other people. He's a real person. At the end of the day, he feels like a real person. There's so many people who are just a mask. Oh, and in case anybody, if you're Ferrari 老了的法拉利也是法拉利啊，对吧？ Even it's vintage and it can't even wrong, it can still go into a museum. It still has value, even when it doesn't wrong anymore. If you're on the game, you will know. But if you are not, just to let people know, I have recently gender switched my character. I started the game with a guy, and I modeled him like 80% after Lu Lingfeng in Strange Tales of Tang Dynasty. Because I think like that's a very unusual face for the xianxia heavy look that Chinese games usually just default to. And I enjoyed my guy's face a lot until I realized in this game, all the male character, their wardrobe and all the clothes are just not as good looking as the girls. So if you buy the same set, the girl character gets like a version and the boy character gets a version, and the girls' clothes are always better. No, I didn't auto-generate. I tried, but it doesn't look like it at all. So I had to actually go in and hand adjust everything. And I think I changed a little bit things just to make it look better on the game itself. But it's kind of like 70% modeled after Yang Xuwen, particularly in profile. And actually looked really good in cutscene. When the cutscene happens, he looks really handsome in those cutscenes. I enjoyed it very much. But the problem comes with the clothes look bad on guys, always. And I've tested, because I have a Chinese server account as well, so I can compare stuff. And I have a girl that's modeled after Liu Yifei. Not exactly the same, but still similar. And I would just like pick the same set of clothes and look at it onto characters. I'm like, the girls always get better things. And they always look prettier. And I got so frustrated because all the guys just get uglier things that eventually I decided to gender switch. So I changed my global server character. I didn't see it. To a girl recently. So now I have two girls. The CN and the global both are. So I did it. I had to actually spend a $7 monthly card so that it opens up a new store to let me buy something just with the games Echo Jade, which is like the game currency, to get the pill to gender switch. Otherwise, I have to pay real money to buy the pearls, which I don't want to do. And it's more expensive that way. So it's only a $7, but it actually gives you other perks apart from like giving you the shop where you can buy it with the Echo Jade. So I bought that pill and I switched my character to a girl. Because I cannot keep looking at the ugly clothes. I can show you my CN server character. She's like a 80% Liu Yifei, I'd say. I changed a couple of things to make her look even more, I'd say, angry because she has arched eyebrow instead of very flat eyebrow that actually she had. This is my CN character. Don't know if you can see it. I'll try to make it look within focus. So that's my CN, the Chinese server one. The eyes look like, and if you look at the profile, she will look even more like Liu Yifei, I think. The profile, like the nose. I'll switch her to a different outfit so that she can expose her face. You'll be able to see. This one looks even more like Liu Yifei, I'd say. Okay. Now you can see, right? Kind of looks like her, particularly in her profile. Because I had to make the nose like stand out very Liu Yifei-ish. So that's my Chinese server character. I put some time in doing her face, and I think only the eyebrow, because I made her eyebrow more arched than because Liu Yifei has a actually rather flat kind of eyebrow from like front view. I arched it so that she looks even more like angry and pointy. Yeah, and then I gave her like really pretty. You know, the girls' clothes in this game is like really looking good. Let me just pick one. This one would be very xianxia, and this is actually a free outfit for the annual, because they've just gone through the annual celebration on Chinese servers. So they actually gave free stuff to people, like 200. I think this is the 2,000 pearls clothes that you can get for free. So I got this one for her. She looks like a xianxia character in this one. Oh, let's see. Trying to focus. It's such a tight focus though. So that's the free outfit you can get, which is a little bit ridiculous in terms of like how dramatic it looks. It glows, and when you walk, like when you turn around, like all those things just go crazy. Okay, I'll push this a little bit. So that's my CN server. Yeah, and the face modeling of this game is really fun. It takes a lot of effort and a lot of time to do it well, but when you do, you know, you can make anybody. Like people make Michael Jackson and SpongeBob in this game. That actually looks like Michael Jackson and SpongeBob. It's pretty over the top, but it actually can be done. I will switch to the international server now, a global, and let you see my girl. So previously I put a guy's face on my video, just to let people know like I made a guy. Now I transfer. You can actually use existing, like what people have done, or you can use a photo to generate. You can use your voice to generate, although it kind of tends to give you weird looking people. I mean, making face is a huge fun thing for this game. Like, I actually spent quite a bit of time trying to carve out the face. So my CN, now my global server is a girl as well, but her face is completely done like not by generating based on anyone. So she doesn't look like Louis Fei or any actress. She's kind of like creation of my own. Okay, let me just try to get the... Okay, the focus now is right. You can get people's photos and you just like change all the settings to make them look like a real life person. Pretty much you can do it very, 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 very similarly. It takes a lot of time to load. Okay, let me see my Chinese character. I have the sound switch off so it doesn't bother people, and then I can't hear a lot of things the game is giving me. But I will switch to the person's look so that you know. Not that it matters, but it's just fun for me. So I have the similar clothes for my character in this one, but she's got a different face. This face is quite different. Okay, she looks like this. Now I'll zoom in. Try to. So this is my CN character, and she's not really based on any existing people. She's just like, I just did it with all the settings. Okay, no, that way. And I have the same look that the green outfit has over on the CN. Let me just pick that one. So this is the same clothes that I've showed you earlier, but you know, a different face. Profile is quite different, I think. Because when you gender change them, you have to redo the face. It doesn't kind of convert to a female version of your male character's face. Why did I get a new homeward path? Okay. I got new one, swallow. See? The swallow bond thing. Hey, nobody wants to be my swallow bond. I've been trying that, but nobody wants whatever. I start to ramble, sorry, because also I'm out of focus, I know. Because I'm on menu focusing. Okay, I need to get my character off. Otherwise it's gonna be running forever. Okay. So that's my game character. No, I don't do game streaming because it's too complicated. I have to set up the gaming computer with the streaming. I don't know how to do it. It seems to be too much, and also streaming often gets like trolls. Also, like there isn't that much to do these days because the game gates you. When you get to level like 75 right now, it gates you for another 10 days where you cannot level up. You just have to go and finish your mundane task and try to get the perfect gear set. Which really means there isn't that much you can do. The plot, like the main plot stuff, I've done all of them. So all the main bosses, all the bosses I've done. Unless you do the trials and try to get no damage. Like you can do the no damage fight and try to get that banner over your head, which I mean, I can, but I just don't want to spend the time to do it. I find it's like pointless. It basically is show off, right? You get a banner which says you got this boss down, no damage. Okay. I mean, spend hours trying to get that no damage. I mean, I can beat all the bosses. I just don't get no damage. But if I want a no damage, it will be so much more time because every time you make a mistake, you have to redo it. I'm like, what's the point of that grind apart from like show off? There's no value in that, so I don't want to do it. Oh, that would be cool if you have a friend. One look like Yang Zhigang, a character, the other look like Lu Lingfeng. It would be actually super cool. The only thing is in this game you cannot adjust the size of the person, so the tall, like how tall they are or how big they are. All the body is the same, all the girl body is the same body, and boy body is the same body. I think it's just for the ease of the costume to fit on them. Otherwise, it's too much adjustment. Think about like the costume will be so hard to make. Therefore, everybody is the same size. All the guys are same size, all the girls are same size. It would be nice if it can be varied. And then that's one thing I wish they could do, but then I understand because the game is too big. You have like what 10 million people playing it, and if you allow that adjustment, it's gonna probably blow the server. I don't know, to whatever extent. So if you don't play the game, you wouldn't understand what I'm talking about, but I'm having fun with it. It's a lot of fun, and I have a Chinese friend over on China server who's doing this stuff on Chinese server. Chinese server is a year ahead. It has a lot more content, and it's crazier, even more crazier. Like in this game, later you'll be able to do a lot of things right now you still cannot do on global server. And new sect open up, so you have new, like on the CN server, I am a Moist, which is the Mo Shan Dao, which is the Mo from the Mo tradition, like the engineers of the ancient time. So you can actually build things that other people in other sects cannot, which gives you this trouble when you go to multi-people world. You have to pretend to be another sect person. You cannot be Moist because Moists are secretive. If you get found out, you get knocked out, and they lock you in a cage for 3 minutes and make something for them for free. Afterwards, if they're nice, they will heal you for your head injury. And that's how it goes. So on the Chinese server, every time I go to multiple people world, I have to pretend to be another sect person, and I have to be careful in terms of like running into too many people. It's so silly, but it's so funny, and you get literally knocked out. And then each sect has a weekly, like different weekly tasks you have to fulfill. Otherwise, you cannot climb in your sect, and you cannot have enough qualification to go into your sect shop to buy the things you want to buy. And for the Moist on the CN server that I joined, I really like their outfit, because their outfit is like one of the best outfit of the sect outfit, I think, in the whole game. It's just so cool looking. And then the highest level of if you go to the 4th level of the sect, you can literally have a gesture where you call a huge mechanical hawk in the air, and you will grab onto the hawk and you fly away. And it's so cool, but you need to go to that level, and it's insane. Like every set has different homework for you to do every week. Some are insanely grinding, some are less. And Moist is insane because you have to do, now this doesn't exist on global server, but they will open it once they open the map for the global, which I think probably will happen after spring, probably after spring this year, maybe close to the mid, I don't know. But anyway, it is so ridiculous that you have to do an essay. It's called an essay. It has author, co-author, your tutor, your reference book section, and then the different sections of things. And they're made up with, for example, making certain tools in the game. You have to collect materials and make something. You have to go collect like wood, stone, magnets, stuff. You have to go design prints, like drawings, architecture, like kind of drawings, which is like simple in the game. But and then you have to place different things, building blocks, how many times within a week. So all that adds up to a number of your essay. You have to submit one essay every week to keep your rank in the sect. If you don't do that, you'll drop, and then you wouldn't be qualified for the shop. I'm like, I didn't know going to a game would require this, but it does. Going to a game to get stuff requires love your life in the game world, right? It's like you have to grind. So it's like I'm a Moist, so it goes to this section. It's called essay. You have to do it every week. So those are the 4 reference books you have to go buy and put on. And these are the things, the tasks, like how many hundreds of stones and wood you have to collect. This is like you have to write a line of thanks to your tutor. And then this is your tutor, you, and then the other people. You have to like finish. And the score right now, this week, I've already finished it. It's like 4,800. And that's the score for this. Don't know if you can see that. It's insane, this game. Ask you to actually write an essay. It's not a real writing essay, but it's still insane. So my score, like every week, the number can only go up to like 4,800. And that is your score for this week. And you have to do it. Otherwise you will drop. When you drop, you don't qualify for the shop. And then the currency to buy things for the shop is like accumulated. So it doesn't happen on the first week. You have to do the tasks and you get the currency, and then eventually you can buy stuff. And I'll show you why I want to join the Moist, because their outfit is the coolest. Stupid. Let me just do a few changes here, otherwise you won't be able to see. Wait. Just this. So in their shop, the sect clothes looks like this. This blue outfit that is short skirt. It's a short skirt. With leather boots. It just like is one of the better looking things. Like all the things on her back, it's my own. It's not the sect outfit, but blue and brown. This looks really nice. I think compared to other clothes. That's why I want to get it. And then when you get to the top, you can do this. You can roll your fan and then call a bird. You snap your finger and the bird will come and it will grab onto you and fly away. But you have to be the level 4 almost in the sect, which is, I don't think I can get there because it's too much work. But I want to get the outfit. I want to get the outfit. Too much like a job, yeah. You stop playing a couple of weeks. Yeah, it could be like actually in a way exhausting because you want to keep going doing things. But on the other hand, I just only play as far as I think is worth putting my time in. If it's too much, I would not do. So I know like where I gate it myself, so it's okay. I just have weird focusing right now. Because for example, like if you want to get that hawk thing, like I just showed you, it's too much work. You have to stay on level 2 and then go to level 3 and then level 4. And then you're able to actually buy it. But I'm like, I'm not gonna grind that much. I don't want to grind the essay every week. I only grind, like I did it last week and this week. And I think this is enough for me to next week get my outfit. I will have enough. And once I get it, I will not keep grinding. I'll just like, whatever. I don't need anything else. I don't need your crazy hawk. I think as long as you set your own sort of gate at where I stop, I will not do more work than this, it's fine. I have no intention of like going to the top of any chart or anything, no. I enjoy parts of it is I can actually do it with my friends. I've got a good friend who's quite busy. She doesn't have a computer on her own, like at her own place, so she only does it once a week at a friend's place. And I like going online with her to have fun and do stupid stuff, dance together. Like in the game, you can dance together. And occasionally with my guild people doing a couple of like guild fights. It's fun, like when you collaborate with real people, right, and you win. It's kind of like nice. And that's kind of why I do the game. And also I just like pretty clothes and nice looking girls. Like I dress them up. That's it. Yeah, so I mean, like I have the guild just because I was like, if people play it on their own and they don't have a guild that they know who the people are, it's kind of like not as nice. So I opened a guild so that most people on the guild are also like basically watching my channel. So at least you know like who each other are kind of like interest area is in, and then you can get real people. We have like about 10 people who always kind of show up in the game so that we can kind of like mix and match teams to do stuff. And the game has a lot of like team stuff that looks absolutely ridiculous and fun. It's like silly but fun. Silly but fun. The other day, we didn't know this, but in the game there's a prison raid. So you can get one person do something illegal in the game and get caught and then go into prison. And then the rest of the friends team up to save them, to prison break. And it's kind of a part of the game you can play. And then if you succeed, obviously you get rewards. We had no idea how this works. We never tried. So we got somebody who voluntarily committed a crime and got imprisoned. And it's actually a fun dungeon, like a water dungeon. They're submerged half and they were waiting there screaming. And then so we teamed up like 4 people and went into the prison to save this person. We didn't know the people who are going to stop us from saving the person are also players in the game. So they will team up too. And we didn't know this is a 10-person team versus 10-person team thing. We didn't know that at all. We had 4 people. The other side had 10. And they were literally butchering us. And when you die, you can like revive on spot. You just got your gear reduced 1% in terms of its longevity. Anyway, so you die on spot. And the moment you get reborn, they kill you again because there are 10 of them and there are only 4 of us. So we can't get out of it. And... And we were like so murdered by like just swamp of people. We didn't know that. So we eventually quit. Like you can quit the quest and you got out. And we were like, we didn't know that was the thing. So literally couldn't save the person because we were swamped by 10 people. And there were like 4 of us. Plus the person in prison. And it's so silly. Like, and because you die so quickly and you get reborn, you die again. And your gear keeps getting like drop down, so I had to leave the game. And they were like, when I got out, I was like, that was crazy. And the other person saying it, yeah, because they were like the enemy team were literally standing at the position when you die, and they were waiting for you to get reborn. And the moment you get reborn, they immediately kill you. So you're constantly dying and getting reborn, dying and getting reborn, dying and getting reborn, and like, okay, didn't know that could happen. So like silly things like that happen in the game. If you've never tried it, it's kind of doing it with a group of friends is pretty fun. It's silly but fun. I'm not talking about dramas, I'm talking about games, sorry. Lu Yuxiao. Do you mean Lu Yuxiao, not Li Yuxiao? You're typing her name wrong. Lu Yuxiao, her acting is not bad. I think she gets criticized a lot is because she doesn't look like a star. A lot of people saying, oh, she's not pretty enough. Her like, she doesn't like take care of her looks, right? She doesn't dress up when she goes out, so she looks like an average person, not like a star. She doesn't have the best proportion as an actress, the figure wise, you know, the head, the shoulder, the body. I agree. I mean, not like the best looking person, but I mean, like, why can't she just be looking more average, still like workable? Because it's not like there aren't people like that in real life. And she, in her dramas, she's not doing like, oh, everybody says she's the prettiest of them all characters. I think she doesn't do that. Like, all her characters are like, nobody ever says, oh, you're the prettiest I've seen. I don't think that's a huge problem. Her acting is actually quite soothing. She's a very soothing looking, actress. Wouldn't say the greatest out there, but definitely not bad. I don't have a problem with her. I think people just are very, 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 I don't know, picky on her because she's not pretty enough. She's not like enough. She's not star enough. She's too average. But her look is, she's not the shockingly beautiful person, but she's a very comfortably looking at her feeling good person. It's like she's like just soothing to look at. That's my feeling. I actually have no problem with her. I actually like her more than people like say there's something wrong with her. I mean, she just doesn't look like star. Yes, I agree. Also, like when she goes to like events, right? When the red carpet thing, she's just like not one of those people. And she kind of looks like average working class person who happens to got put in a night like gown dress and doesn't know her place and walked onto the set. She doesn't have that kind of star. Come on. So what? So what? I mean, in a way, I think it's actually quite adorable. Like, she doesn't look like every other person, and she's like not fully dressed up 24/7 every time she shows up in front of a camera. She's like hair like this, like all blown dry, huge, and looking pretty. She's like, she's in pajamas. Her tights is not too bad. It's not great either, but acceptable. Not too bad, really. Not too bad. There are worse people. A lot worse people. In comparison, she's not bad. She's just not as good as, say, very good ones. The professional ones. Acting of Song Zuer. She can be very good. Yeah. She actually has that actress. I'd say she has that actress nerve. Ding! That thing that can be picked. And she can ding very high if she wants to. Yeah, but some problem with her is still also like she looks like she's permanently a kid, too young looking. As time goes on, it's gonna be more and more a problem. What else? It's 11. I mean, right now there aren't that many things that excites me in Dramaland, honestly speaking. I'm just like sailing along with the ongoing one. And I know today I'm gonna go to Corner later and probably have fun and be happy. That would be very good to know. And then next week, looking forward to the epic historical. In between, I don't think there's much else that I'd be highly, highly, highly interested in. Depending on what is worth talking about next week. If Imperial Corner is really, really, really good, I probably will talk about that. And we shall see. My journey to love? I mean, she looks good in that drama. I think that the styling really helped her a lot in that drama. Although I don't buy into that drama. I mean, Guo Jingming's stuff is weird. Guo Jingming's drama overall is way too Indian. Underworld, I need yang qi. You know, all the kind of like ghost looking like things. The heavy makeup, the dark color, the kind of permanently not having enough blood circulating your veins look is not my cup of tea. I don't have that much time to watch a lot outside of China these days, just because I already have to watch that many. I don't have that much time. Occasionally a good one show up, I may be watching. If it's like really good and worth watching. I know like the super popular ones that will be ongoing. You know, like a couple of years, every country will have a couple of really well-known ones, and I would generally like know them. But in terms of actually watching every second, that depends on 缘分. If I have a 缘分 with them, I may end up watching. Otherwise, may not. Yeah, I mean, January coming like today and then next week, I definitely highly look forward to the ones. What is your rating on Hidden Love? Are you a latecomer of my channel? Have you recently just discovered my channel? I'm just like, if you didn't discover it earlier on, right, you probably don't know my opinion, but if you know, I don't know if you like it a lot. If you like it a lot, I don't want to say things that make you feel bad, right? Because I don't know you. I'm not necessarily making other people feel bad. But to me, all right, there are a couple of dramas that I have heavily criticized. That's one of them. Unnatural. What is that? Is that like which country's drama? Unnatural. Is that the only title? Is there more? Is that one word of the title? Because I don't think there's one drama just called Unnatural, is it? Why is he still singing? Yeah, I've just talked about it. I've watched parts of it. It's fun. You know, 霍建华 is 霍建华. Yeah, but in terms of like high quality, super high quality, everything considered, when you look at the production, right? Last year, the best one is the last drama that showed up, Men's Inhumanity. That's like a proper made drama. Like that's a drama where you can say every shot is planned because you can tell why they put the camera there at that angle, shooting that thing, why they grade the color that way, why in the background there's that thing there and that's that thing there. You actually can tell why it got shot. Whereas a lot of dramas would never go to that extent because it's drama, it's too much work and time constraint. You wouldn't be able to do it like a cinema. Whereas Men's Inhumanity is done at a movie level, pretty much like how they plan production design, lighting, everything is performance blocking. It is done at a movie level planning. So I think they actually had a storyboard for pretty much everything. And they intended to have a shot looking exactly like that, and they actually did it for the drama. It strongly reads like a movie instead of a drama. So that's the highest effort put in drama I'd see last year in Chinese drama land, pretty much. Imperial Coroner, if you haven't watched, right, you should definitely check it out. If somebody asked me, the first season is years ago. You can go and watch it, and then come to the current one, because it just aired today, the second season. It's an overall very good period. Has a romantic element, but also a case-breaking, mostly drama that overall is quite entertaining. It's not the highest production quality, because it's poor. The first season, they didn't have money. The second one probably will be better now because they got money. Oh yeah, like translations are always different. Therefore, it's kind of complicated for me to actually know what I'm talking about because I don't know what people are looking at. YouTube, with Vicky, they all do different subtitles. I mean, for the Tencent dramas, usually WeTV would have it globally if you are outside of China. Not everything. If it's not on WeTV, it means the copyright got distributed to other holders. You can check Viki. Sometimes it's just on YouTube straight. But again, it's region locked. So if you're in a country where your IP address is like not copyright allowed, you can. But then if you VPN your way out, you can always find something. So if you have a VPN that can go back to China, you can literally watch it on China's version of those software and platform. You just need to pay the same way as the Chinese people pay, which can be a problem if you don't have a Chinese kind of like Alipay or WeChat account. But I always just VPN my way back to China because, you know, what's the point for me to watch international versions, right? If I want to look at how Chinese people comment on things, I would also have to use the Chinese app with the Chinese live comment. So I always just VPN my way back to China to watch things that may get blocked. Not every drama. It's like 80% of the dramas are actually watchable when I'm outside of China, just on Tencent or Youku or iQIYI, their own platform. But 20% of them gets blocked because its copyright is distributed outside of China by other people instead of themselves. That one, like those ones, I have to VPN my way back into China. First Frost, I'm not gonna like. I just totally. I feel that drama is an insult to my hometown because it's fully shot in Chongqing and all the locations are recognized where they are, and it made my city. It's just stupid, like how the drama depicts her renting the places, getting harassed, and even like assaulted by the people who rent the place, which like is not realistic at all in China completely. The cost of living is wrong. You have like weirdos on street that flash her. I'm like, never gonna happen in Chongqing like that. Okay, just, like, you have no idea about how it works in China. It's like some stupid people wrote the script out of nowhere and smashed it into a Chinese city setting, but it has nothing to do with China. Like, it doesn't look like it happened in China at all, apart from it's shot in Chongqing for sure. I look at that, I'm like, I hate you because you make my city look stupid, so I hate you. So that's First Frost. Yeah, that's a drama that doesn't know its depth, and I will laugh at everything it does. That's like how I think about that drama. Not that I have a higher opinion of Hidden Love in any way, but at least it's not shot in Chongqing. Oh, that one. Yeah, it's years ago. There is a remake. No. On medical thriller. Do you mean that one? I don't think so. Cause if you're saying the unnatural, like for the medical examiner game, drama of like the two characters, a guy and a girl, that one is getting remade in China, led by Song Yi. Is it Jin Shijia or Song Yi? I think the two of them, but it hasn't aired. If that's that one, it hasn't aired. Chen Xiao has one, but it's like where he's the white-haired guy. That's a different story. Chen Xingxu drama. Older drama, you just go to the Goodbye My Princess, if you've watched it. It's like olden day drama, but that's what made him famous. Has that ridiculously high-toned song. That's like what made him famous with Peng Xiaoran, right? Goodbye My Princess. I think that's the English title. Donggong. That's the one made him famous. Afterwards, 陈星旭. 其实我喜欢新落凝成糖. I actually really like Starry Love, is it? That's the English title. But it's silly at the beginning and it's poorly shot. It's like the aesthetics is not very good. The lighting color makes him look really bad, but his acting is great in the drama. That's a period drama one. Yeah, both are period drama. Contemporary, I mean, you can try Love on Turquoise Land, but I think the drama kind of drops its pace later Beginning is pretty okay. It drops its pace quite a bit. So overall, I'm not so interested in the story because I think it can be shortened. It's way too draggy, but he looks good in the drama. One of the better looking dramas in his contemporary drama profile right now. Recently just finished on Tencent with Dili Rabat, Love on Turquoise Land. And then the current ongoing one is not bad. He's also looking really good, right? But it's just not realistic as an architect. Gong Jun, The Legend of Lu Xiaofeng. I don't think so. Lu Xiaofeng is being... Oh, that one is being done by... I recently talked about it. Who are the two actors? Oh yeah, is he? Because they're... Lu Xiaofeng, Hua Menlou, right? Let me double check. Because I remember there is something. But it's kind of stupid to remake it. Oh yeah, Gong Jun. Okay, who is the other guy? If he's the only one? Or is it... Oh, because it's just being rumored yesterday. It's unconfirmed. Saying like it may show up in March. Like in terms of start shooting in March. But it's unconfirmed yet. And so supposedly it's going to be him. Zheng Yechen, Quan Yilun, really? Quan Yilun is Hua Menlou. Shimen Cuixue is Zheng Yechen. Okay. I mean, it's good looking three people. So there is a rumor that Lu Xiaofeng's 传奇 Legend of Lu Xiaofeng is gonna get shot, and then Gong Jun is gonna be Lu Xiaofeng, and Hua Menlou is gonna be Quan Yilun, and then Zheng Yechen is gonna be Ximen Cuixue. I don't know if that's gonna actually turn out to be that. Well, you know, Zheng Yechen will be the only true fighter in the whole thing. And I think it's a mighty task to challenge because previously Lu Xiaofeng and Hua Menlou are Zhang Zhiling and Zhang Zhiyao. Okay, they're not twin brothers, just in case. Their names are just like very similar, but these are the golden days Hong Kong movie television time super good looking people who are also like talented in everything, including like fighting and then singing. It's an old generation of actors who are true actors, who are trained like artists. They're like forced. It's like if you don't do it well, you cannot have this profession. So back in the days, it's kind of like much harder to be an actor than these days. So compared to that generation of actors, current generation of actors lack a lot of training. And I mean, back in the days where there's no like CG anything, like those people were really truly good looking people. I don't think current generation can compare, but we shall see what it turns out. I mean, Quan Yilun is a pretty good looking guy. Zheng Yechen, everybody knows, like he is good looking too, and he is a proper fighter, like who can do real fighting. So at least in this drama, you have like good looking faces and a third of professional fighting in it, if not like all of them. If it works, it works. Who knows? I mean, at least in that sense, Gong Jun is gonna be facing like guys again, not girls. Maybe that will make chemistry work better. Like the Dark River is kind of better than Hu Yao Xiaohongniang, Fox Demon, because there's a guy. Although I think he's turned that off. Honestly, I think Gong Jun, he's antenna. He's that radar, the gaydar thing, like on screen. To switch on for a chemistry pull with a same gendered person, I think he turned it off. I think he voluntarily shut it down. It's not switched on these days. If you compare to the olden days, when he was in, I think I need to charge my computer, when he was in that drama. The drama that made him famous, but also kind of created a permanent trauma on him, right? Back in the days, in that one, I think he had that on. He was actually having fun teasing with a guy and having fun and not afraid of people misinterpreting when he was in Word of Honor. His acting was filled with that kind of willingness to go forward a step with everybody knows what we're doing, so let's have fun. And that was That was the end of the good days of BL adaptation. Afterwards, it becomes taboo. So now I think Gong Jun himself, right? He definitely closes it down. Like you see in Blood River. I watch him with Chang Hua-sen. I feel Chang Hua-sen because Chang Hua-sen personally wasn't traumatized by that type of experience. He wasn't in a BL that got into so much of a bloodbath later that he isn't really hindered on that aspect. So I can sense, like, from Chang Hua-sen's perspective, when he's playing the character, he can let that emotional kind of thing come out very, very naturally. It's not like hindered. Whereas you switch the camera, you look at Gong Jun, it's like he's not letting it out. He's shut it down. He's not playing it with that same thing when you see in Word of Honor, because I think he was never gonna do it again. Like he would shut it down voluntarily on his end because it means absolute trauma and trouble for him. The first round is already enough. It made him famous, but it also kind of like, it kind of becomes a no-touch zone. And I find it's extremely obvious. I can see it, but I don't know other people what your opinion about it is. I can see it. I just feel it's like really sad, but what can you do? Thank you for super chat. It's the first super chat. You don't have to do it, okay? Super chats, people. I highly appreciate, but you don't have to do it. Korean, Chinese, and Tale of Rose. Really? I heard Korean, Chinese in Tale of Rose. And then some English phrases and some Cantonese. What do you mean? Like, why would that be a trouble? If the character should be speaking, it should be speaking. I mean, think about men's inhumanity to men. Like, people are speaking Japanese, Korean, like, everything. Because for the character, it's the right language to speak. Therefore, they speak it. Yeah. You can see that in the Tencent Diqiu Chaoqingxian, right? Wild World. You remember there's one episode when they were in Rome and it's like sundown and they're like just out of Colosseum. I think they were walking on this lawn and they were having in the moment like a drama. They were like trying to make up characters and shoot a really short drama each group. And in his group, there were like a guy and like they were literally saying a guy and a guy. Like, what's the relationship between people, right? They're like, this is teacher, this is student, this is my dad, this is my daughter. They were like making up that team on spot. And there was like one thing about a guy and a guy, and they were like suggesting it, and he literally like screamed. He was like, no, he was like jumping backwards. He was like, ah, like that. And I know it's a level of overacting, but also I think he knows, everybody on the team knows where he comes from. And Word of Honor made him famous, but also everything that happened afterwards was like not pretty. And they all know like he knows that. So everyone is teasing him with the guy and guy, and he was like so like just jumping backwards. It's like, no. So I think he's permanently damaged by that. And therefore, the problem with Lu Xiaofeng and Hua Manlou is if you're not willing to play that, it's a problem. It will not work. Quan Yilun, therefore, is taking a Chang Hua-sen kind of route in Blood River, in the new one. Who knows whether it's gonna work? I have a feeling it's not, because I mean Gong Jun. I think Gong Jun just like, he has it cut off. He's never gonna let it work anymore. For clear reasons. So Yu Shuxing is weird. Yu Shuxing is, okay, let me put it this way. I know she can be a proper actress, but often she is not doing it. I don't know for what reason. Because if she holds a serious face, use her real voice, and actually acting properly, she can do it. But she now has worked herself into this. Somehow her idol image needs to be repeated in her drama image. So all her characters, regardless, needs to be like a baby. She has to speak like that. And I mean, even when she's 30 years old, she has to speak like that in her dramas. And somehow, like, she thinks that's her image she needs to keep. Whether it's as a person, as Yu Shuxing herself in front of the public, or as a character who's not Yu Shuxing in the drama, yes, she's still doing which is totally put on. It's not what she actually, without that effort, sounds like or look like. She actually has a very matured face, like a long midsection, which naturally makes her look matured. She's tall, she's like close to 170, which in real life will make her like not looking like a child. So she doesn't look like a child at all, but I feel like she's mistakenly thinking about she has to serve her fandom, or her fandoms think about what she looks like, the image first, instead of being an actress. But while she's actually pulling all her resources from the fact that she's being an actress, but it cannot go on forever. I mean, look at her older works. Before she got famous, she was in a drama with Liu Yichang, who is now House Collapse too. But I like that drama a lot. And she was like just normal acting. And you think about the drama she did with Ding Yuxi before the period one, the contemporary one. She's like a lot less than now than like the drama she did with Lin Yi or He Yu. I think as time goes on, she got like worked into that trap of that image she needs to maintain as that adorable girl for like whatever reason it sells. That it's pushing her further and further away from being a proper actress. I mean, if she keeps at doing this, right, she's gonna forget what being a real actor is like. And obviously more serious productions will never go for her. They will not pick her. They were like, no, she's not, like, we're not gonna pick her. We need proper, like, who can cool down and be real actress instead of all the time. Like, if you talk like that all the time, I can't do anything in the proper drama, right? I don't know, like you never know why people do certain things, right? Why it works for them, why it needs to be that. You never know. It could be all kinds of reasons you never anticipated. But the end result is, if I am a big historical period drama, right, I would never pick her. Like, that would be unthinkable because of what she does now. Unless she completely does not act like that and follows my instruction to a T, and actually not being the main lead character in that thing, maybe. Think about like different types of dramas, right? She basically worked herself into a very, very small category of things that is totally designed for this type of idol traffic actress, and very, very tailored to her targeted audiences, not anyone else. So everybody outside of the targeted audiences will look at this thing and think, what the heck is this? And everyone within the targeted audiences will, it's so adorable. You know, she's so narrowing herself into that. I mean, if that's what she wants, and that's like where she thinks that's the best value for everything, I mean, who's saying that's anything wrong? But you have to know, right, there's the downside of that is other things will never come to you. And they will not come to you more and more because you're departing more and more away from like what people consider to be normal. Liu Yichang, he's like he's just not being nice in life in general, and therefore being found out and being people are like, you're not even famous, right? You're nobody, and you have such a show off and such a like a huge temper and everything. Then people are like, get out of my face. So that's Liu Yichang. Yeah, he was kind of like not knowing his depth, I think, in a lot of things in recent couple of years of things. So now he doesn't have the best reputation out there. Yeah, when she was like years ago, when she wasn't in the whole idol, like before she got into the IT show idol thing, she was like a lot normal than now. Right now, I don't know. Like I can't tell where she's going. She's kind of like too blinded by that image. I don't know if she's out of woods. I mean, her family, whatever problem it has, technically it wouldn't have anything to do with her, right? If she's not involved in the business management of that. But in terms of public reputation, probably it's not going to be a good thing. But probably it's not going to kill her career either, because she personally hasn't done anything wrong. It's just like people will always just say that after her, right? The thing is, these days it's very sensitive for people to have privilege and power, who the public considering of you not deserving. Like if you get special treatment, you have power and stuff, so and you earned it, people are okay. But if you haven't, people have very big problems with it, and it's more than before. This is just the current sort of atmosphere of things overall everywhere. So entertainment business gets a lot of notice because people are in front of the camera, right? They're always just in front. So you get like seen a lot. Yeah, iQIYI still has it. It's like a category of things. They just put in the category. It doesn't have to be like, it's not anything real. It's just a name. It's like a bracket, right? It's like a pot, a bucket that they put a tag on it, says light on, and all the dramas that kind of has that boom 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 gets thrown into it. It doesn't mean anything, really. It doesn't mean like if you have light on, you have like special whatever. It doesn't. It's like if you have suspense thriller, I can categorize that as light on. I just slap a symbol on it. Doesn't add anything to the drama itself. Liu Yuning, I haven't been able to follow anyone. He hasn't even had anything recently. He only was like last July, right? June, July, he had the drama, and then he was like in singing. Yeah, he's a unique guy. He's a cool, unique guy. And also, he's not meant for every drama, I would say. Even though I like him, I don't think he's suited for a lot of dramas. He's very specifically suited for a type. If it's not his type, he better not act in that. It's not gonna actually lend him anything. And being a singer is great because he's good. And he's like very unique. You know, you can't replace him. He has a very unique tonal quality that when you listen to all the drama OST, right? It's like if it's by him, it's just his song. It's hard to imagine other people sing in the same way, and to me, I think for singers particularly, your irreplaceable kind of traits are far more important than your technique being perfect, or you never make a pitch problem like mistake. No, it's like the sound that you make is like when you hear his voice, you can see a picture, and it's like just. That's like the most valuable thing. He happens to have it, which is like, I don't know, thanks for incarnation, I guess. So, even if he's only just a singer forever, not mostly doing dramas, it's fine. I think if he taps into like acting, it needs to be like perfectly made for him. It's like perfect for him to play. He likes it and it works for him, then it's good. Otherwise, there's no need to repeatedly do idol period dramas, day in, day out, 10 dramas every year, and then flip all of them. It's no point. It'll only waste your energy. It doesn't do anything. Yeah, you get money from it, but it's not like he doesn't get money from singing, you know? It's probably easier and more fun to do it with music. At least you're not in front of the camera. You don't have to get dressed up. You can just get in your pajamas and still be in the studio recording. You know, it doesn't make a difference. Also, actually, he's been playing mostly period dramas. Period dramas are very exhausting to film. You know, if you don't really believe in your character and enjoying the process, you should not take it on. It's like 3 months of uncomfortable life. Particularly guys, because guys have to wear wigs. Girls have like usually like you don't have, because your like the first half of your head hair is all yours. They just add attachment to the behind usually, so you don't suffer as much. But for guys, from the hairline this way all the way down to your neck, all the way, it completely gets capped into this one wig thing. So you have to comb your hair down, flatten them, and have this basically the hat over it. And then all the lines gets glued down with the particular type of glue that he, I think, reacts to. Unfortunately, he's just one of those unlucky people who have that allergy. And it's absolutely a nightmare. If you have to get like that on your face for like 12, 16 hours a day and you're reacting to it and you can't take it off. It's like 16 hours of torture. And if it's summer, oh my god. You know, like when they get itchy, they had to like use a pen to poke their head because they can't get in, right? It's all like a net. So they have to like use a hairpin to just like scratch their head. And then when it's summer, it's completely caged in. They have their own hair. They're not bald. So they have their own hair. It's kind of sweated fully. And then it's completely covered by the wig. So it's all in it. Like you have your sweat in your head like for 12 hours. You can't get it breathed out. And it's like with the glue that you're allergic to around your face, and you have to be acting in the 40-degree sun with like 10 layers of costume and this thing that's bothering you constantly, and the sweat that's like in your head and obviously your whole body, and you still have to look cool. And like, you know? So if you don't have a huge reason to go for a while, don't take on, like it's insane to take on a period drama character that got shot in Hengdian. Thank you, Tracy. Liddington. 8060. Thank you for a super chat. You know, like it's very, very, very difficult, particularly for guys. I say more than for girls, because girls, at least the hair doesn't feel as bad. I mean, it still hurts, a lot of stuff on your head, but at least the hairline thing is often not a problem. Oh, it would be harmful to everything, but it's your job. If you're allergic, it's harmful because basically your immune system is like flared up, right? You're basically having like inflammation on your skin. Obviously, it's not good, but it's your job. Do you know like there's a type of paint called 大漆, which is the big paint in China, which you use for a lot of things, like for example, 古琴 surface, or a lot of like furniture that has the lacquer on top. It gets cut from the tree, right? 99% of humans are allergic to it. But if you are in the business, you just have to suffer it. And it never goes away. It doesn't build up tolerance. It's like not over years you get better. No, every time you do it, your hand like is allergic. The skin peels off, like the bubbles grow up. It's red and it's absolutely torturous on your skin. But if you're in the business, you just have to do it forever. For the lacquer kind of like extracting, it's absolutely painful. And I think they know, like they would call the people who naturally don't get reacted to that, which is a very small percentage of humans, but there are people, when they do it, it doesn't do anything to them. They don't react, they don't suffer, they don't have any allergic reaction. They would call these people 天选之人. It's like your heavenly chosen should be doing this business person. Yeah, but it's very rare to come by, and most people would be allergic to that type of thing. Yet that business still exists. People still do it. You know, they suffer, they do it. What can you say? What's going on with Shukai? I have no idea. Is he just keeping a low profile? I have no idea. To me, he's like whatever, because his acting is completely, to me, is like not doing anything. Apart from like he's got an overall good looking face. That's it. To me, he's like, okay, a guy who's like looking pretty handsome. That's it. He doesn't provide me any extra value in terms of acting. That I feel like is worth my time paying attention to. So I don't know what's going on. On topic of hair. Oh, thank you. It's just my hair. I washed it last night. Maybe that's why. Because I have extremely oily roots. So if I don't wash it every day, it looks like a mess. Because I have to go on camera, so I washed it. That's it. I know I shouldn't be complaining about my hair because a lot of people get like you have already easy to deal with hair. Why are you complaining? I'm like, okay. Think about it on the global stage of things. Yes, I don't have very difficult to manage hair. It's just oily. That's the only problem it has. It doesn't give me other pain. But I wish it's not as oily because I don't want to wash it every day. It's just so much of a drag. Okay, so I will go away probably like in 20 minutes or so, but during which time I have to be also on the game for a bit because I set up a party in the game that happens at noon every day at my time because it's the best time that can accommodate people in my guild because there are people who are in Asia, they're in Europe, they're here in North America, so the time zones are all over. Kind of like in the noon is the best time where everybody can kind of take a part. If I don't know, like I try to figure out the best time, but anyway, it happens 6 minutes in the game every day, and I just need to be there. That's it. I don't have to do anything. I just show up, and it's so I'll have an iPad and I'll be doing this while I'm talking about it at 12 for a bit, and that will be done. Variety shows. No, I'm not watching any variety shows. I hope there are good ones though. Later this year, right, you're gonna get probably The Truth again. Hope that works for the people. I would be looking forward to it. So if you happen to play the game, you would be having basically at this time in 5 minutes in the guild base, which is just a place in the guild in the bathtub house-ish place where all the people gather, just be silly for 6 minutes and walk away. So I'm just right now putting my character in the place. Drama about Qin Dynasty. Zhang Xincheng. It's shooting. I recently just talked about it, right? It's shooting. And Chen Xiao is super skinny for the drama. That's all we know. It's very low profile. They don't have official material of this thing. I think they're trying to keep it as low profile as possible until the final, like when they get it done. I have high hopes for it. It looks pretty good. It's very ballsy to take on Qin Shi Huang. He's a magical character in Chinese history. One of those people you don't want to screw up with because you feel like if you don't do it justice, you're gonna get bad karma. He's like the jinxed person in history. Spend more time. I wish I have a cat. I wish I had a cat to pet on, but I don't. Because I can't afford the responsibility of actually having one. I got this recently in the mail because I want to play Xiao, but I really like F. This is in F, but F is very hard for girls to hold because of the distance between the holes or openings are too wide. Usually my fingers cannot hold down an F. So I can hold a G easily. I cannot hold a F easily. I asked the person who made this to make it as, like, find the thinnest so the pipe is as thin as possible. And then the distance closest and not on the knot of the bamboo. One for me, because I have one F, which unfortunately is too wide, too big. And then they have a hole right on this, which makes it impossible to hold on with your knuckle because I can't press it with my finger because it's too large. I have to hold it down with my with my knuckles. But if it's here, I wouldn't be able to press it and hold it down. So I asked them to make one. Just make sure they're not on this and as skinny as possible. And this is the only one I managed to actually being able to hold for a bit. But it's hard to make a sound because I'm in an awkward position right now. So this is not too bad. It's F. But I can't guarantee to make it make a sound every second because of how hard it is. I'll show you because it's so wide. If I make sure I can hold down the last one, then the top one will be literally on my knuckle. And then these, right, that's like what I can do with my finger. I cannot stretch it any further, particularly the right hand. If it's any further apart, I won't be able to hold this down. And guys can do F relatively easily, but girls, actually, they wouldn't recommend you do F. If you want, you have to have a big hand to do shell in F because you can't hold it. That's the problem. Fingers are not long enough or big enough or wide apart enough. And G, this is G, so it's skinnier slightly, and then the distance between the holes are actually closer. Therefore, it's easier to hold. Okay, if I put it comparison, you'll be able to see it. So look at the F, right? The bottom one is F. The top one is G. I try to roll it to the same. And you can see the G, the openings are a lot closer than the F. So the F are further apart. This is G, right? The one behind. This one is like it rolls, so I can't make them stay like that. I have to do it this way. This is easy to see if I line them up. You see the bottom one, they're further apart, the holes. The top one is closer. So for my hand, it's easy to hold the G, but it's almost impossible to fully hold the F. I have to find it. So that is the tune from the game. But I'm not doing it very properly because I'm not sitting correctly. I'm like in an awkward position. It has to be at an angle, otherwise it's not gonna make a sound. Anyone know that? Oh, the dog next door is barking. Any people from Korea? If you are familiar with Korean culture, you will know this too. Oh, I have people. So I wonder if anyone is actually on my live stream while they're on the game. But anyway, there are people in the guild. Let me just click on a few things, get it done, and then it'll be good. It's kind of silly. So if you're playing the game, when you go into the guild, you can go take a shower, like a bath. Like there. In this place. And then all the other people you see behind that has a name on it, they're all the players, the other players in the guild. So they're just there. It's like a party for 6 minutes. No, it's fun. It's just for fun. I'm not a musician. I can't do proper musician stuff, you know. When you're young? No, I didn't learn it. This is actually, if you want to make a sound, it's not hard. You don't have to learn. You just grab one and you blow, and you kind of can make a sound. It's not too hard. It's not the hard instrument. There are a couple that's harder than this, like shun, the round thing. It's very hard to make a sound. Xiao is relatively speaking not too difficult. If you just like get one and play it for a bit, you can make a sound out of it. So it's no big deal. But if you want to be professional, it can be very, very hard. Very, very hard, because you have to be able to perfectly control its tonal quality. That takes a lot of practice. Also, you have to do the cycling breath, which means you can breathe. You can play it indefinitely. It doesn't break. Like the sound goes on forever, and it's a like a circling kind of breath thing that I don't know how to do. I know people can do it, and I marvel at how they do it, but I cannot. So this is the Chinese xiao, which is the sadder sound of the bamboo. If it's a horizontal one, like 魏无羡, that would be di, right? It's like that way. That would be usually brighter, a lot brighter, and they would have to have a layer of di mo, which is a cover, like there's a hole on it, and you have to stick a very thin piece of like bamboo fiber thing on it to make it have that resonating, very sharp and loud and like bird chirping sound. Xiao doesn't need it. Xiao doesn't need a cover. It just needs this, but it will sound heavier and lower and sadder. And G is higher, right? And then this is F. So F will be, I feel F is the best sounding one for xiao, because xiao sounds better when it's low, but like I said, it's almost impossible for me to hold it well. So it's lower, and I think it sounds better, but it's hard. I can't hold it. And then you can have like, this is a 2. It's a 2 part. This part actually can be break apart, so you can have it in 2, and you put them together. It wouldn't have the best sound, but it would be easy transportation. And this is the traditional long, like a very long xiao. And it is A, I think, this one. So the thinner it goes, the higher it goes. This is so high, I have to sit very far away from the desk. So you can hear this one is a lot higher, and it's much skinnier. I just have fun with these things, but I'm not professional, and I don't aim to be. I just have fun. It's nice to have those bamboo things. So this F I recently got, and I think this is the best I can get in F, and I can just manage to hold with my hand. The other ones are way too thick and big. And it's mostly to do with the size and also with the distance. So the lower it goes, the distance between the holes will be further away until a point where your hand cannot stretch and cover them. 中郎讲的兵器 actually, it's just looking cool in dramas. Think about actually using a musical instrument as a weapon. That is such brutality on the instrument, because you're gonna damage the instrument. Instrument gets damaged, and they get damaged, right? They don't make a sound properly anymore. So you never actually use an instrument as a weapon. It's only happening in novels because it looks cool. It's like people grab the string and then shoot it like a bow. I'm like, who is the stupid person who would be ever thinking about that? Bow strings are designed differently than music string. You cannot pull music instrument string that much and not snapping it, right? And as for xiao, well, for people like Wen Kexing, they just break it. They just smash and break it That's so rude. And it's made with jade. What a waste. Yeah, again, in the world of in the world of, in the world of wuxia, there's no economy. You never know where people get their money. You don't know. They just have money. Also, there's no transportation and luggage because they seem to be able to cook in the wild, but you never see them having like utensils with them. I mean, technically, you should have wok, you should have dishes, you have a lot of things carrying with it. You have to have like, you know, like everything, beddings, right? How do you sleep in the wild? And you never, like, some people just don't even have a horse, and like there's no economy, right? There's no life. Basically, when you think about wuxia novel and person just traveling on the horse and have nothing, like how do they survive? Where is their luggage? The basic things, the clothes, right? The things they need to keep themselves looking like human, things to cook with, things to sleep in, all those things, right? You just don't see luggages. So wuxia is very romanticized. It's like in the game, your character look pretty, they're all dressed up. Yeah, you open the package, it's like they have a million items that are just like in Hermione's bag. It's in the zone that disappears when needed and show up when needed, no questions asked. So there's no actually reality or economy in any of the wuxia stories. Think about that, right? Thank you, but I have to tell you, I really don't play it well. I can barely make certain sounds. Like here, the high octave is all over the place. Technically, just change how you blow it. It should raise an octave, but because I'm not good and I'm not professional, I can't do it properly. You should make it seamlessly when it goes up. When you're like or it's more like a sol la si do re mi fa sol. So the next sol and the first sol are on 2 octaves, and you should be like seamless, but I can't do it. I can't do it actually because I'm not really practiced. Technically, there should be same quality sound. But I can't actually do it. and if you do it well, you can do more than, I think you can do 2 octaves and a couple of more notes on xiao if you're really good. Which is actually very hard when you go to the very, very high. It's like hard to keep it sound okay and even make a sound. But professional people can do it. I cannot. I can do 1.5 and it starts to go everywhere. But some people can do it properly. They're magical. Okay, so we have done close to 3 hours. I should stop this in a few minutes. Thank everyone for coming over. If you happen to be watching my live stream and also on the game, which I don't think there will be many people, but if you also happen to be one of those people in the pool right now, thank you for also showing up for the party. It's such a weird experience. 冰球 BL. Really? People will get concussions, right, in the plot. I'm just saying if it's hockey. Oh, thank you. It's really fun. This is like easy instrument, I would say, because you can carry it with you everywhere. It doesn't take up extra spaces. It's cheap to buy them. Bamboo ones are like not like the, you know, the metal proper like classical music is super expensive thing. These things are like, will cost you like what, $20? I mean, some are more expensive, like $50 maximum. That's already very high quality. Like that one I got recently, the F, I think it's about $50. It's really well made, a proper like nice flute, and it's still very cheap as an instrument. And you really don't need to do much with it. You know, just make sure it doesn't go to like super hot, super cold all the time, because it's wood. It's like bamboo. It may crack. Apart from that, it's all good. If you want to really have fun with the music instrument, it's super, super affordable. and just have fun with it. Because these type of things used to be really sold at tourist spots in China. Like if you go to mountain, a river, whatever famous tourist spot, you go there and there's like a shop outside that they'll be selling foods. You can grab one and just go. And super cheap. Obviously, they will be made with very poor kind of material, but it's like one of those not expensive at all hobby. Only my like neighbor's dog doesn't like it. Because I was playing it earlier on and he started barking. 太平年 should be Monday. I made a video, go and check, asking me love on turquoise land. I'm like, obviously I finished it. Like I said, it lacks energy towards the end. Don't like the millisecond. All that. And I think it's kind of a wasted opportunity. Could be done better, but any good movies releasing? I can't think of anything recently. I don't think there's anything really high profile recently. If you're talking about like Western, like where I am movies, I haven't gone into a cinema for like over a year. Last time I watched a movie in a theater in Winnipeg was Oppenheimer? That's a long time ago. I think that was Oppenheimer. After that, I didn't go to any cinema. I'm trying to think if that's true. Yeah. Actually, I didn't go to see any movies. Even like the more sort of like probably family-friendly Zootopia and all the others. I haven't actually. Oh, I understand. I understand music instrument used to be like a weapon to beat children up. Are they Asian? I'm just saying. Are they Asian parents? Hasn't started, but they aim at starting in 26 for Hugo to do Zhang Juzheng. Be tough. It will be very tough. Depends on how well it's written and stuff. So I'll quit the game for now and come back later. I have to do other stuff, and also I have to end the stream soon. Thanks everyone for coming over. Let's hope next week, Monday, is gonna be a good day for Taiping Yan. I really need a good historical. It would be so good if it's a good historical while the game is still quite hot. Where Wings Meet, that happens to overlap time settings and everything. It would be cool to further explore, stuff. And then at the end of the day, if it's a good drama, I could always say, if you want to play the game, you can also go and watch the drama. I kind of give you a better idea about what things. South Asian parents. Asian parents, what can we say? They're all Asian parents. Yeah. Yeah. With a bamboo stick hitting kids. Like sometimes it's broomstick. Sometimes it's the clothes hanger. Like you use that to put the clothes up. That stick. Stick wise, music instrument, broomstick, or the stick for laundry are the best choices. Soft things will be even worse because it will be your father's belt. Wooden spoon. In the game, the wooden spoon. Where Wings Meet, you can buy the you can change your Mo blade, the big sword, into a wooden spoon. Somehow. Okay, thank you for coming over to this live stream in January 2026 on Avenue X. I'll see you in my next video on Saturday. Take care. Bye.